皆様ごきげんよう. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This video is about the pronunciation of Hiragana. By the way, if you are interested, I made a Hiragana chart. The Hiragana chart is available to download for free, so if you're interested, the link will be posted on the description box down below. In the video and in the chart that I made, I used this system of writing letters in the English alphabet. This is called Romaji, and this is how we type Japanese on a computer keyboard. Romaji originally means the Roman characters, and it is a system that applies and adapts the Japanese sounds into the English alphabet the best way possible. The trick here is that this English alphabet is not going to be the exact pronunciation that Japanese is pronounced. Again, this is a system that writes Japanese letters in the English alphabet the best way possible, and it also doesn't mean that the English alphabet can perfectly describe the Japanese pronunciation. It will be useful for you to learn Romaji, for it is again used when typing on a keyboard, and it will be a great guide when you start figuring out pronunciation. But make it a goal for you to first learn to read without using Romaji. I will try to describe how to pronounce them the best way possible, so pay attention to the actual sounds and don't be deceived by how it is written in Romaji. A little disclaimer before we start. I am a Vtuber. That means that my mouth doesn't move the way normal people's mouths move. I took photos of my mouth and how it moves to imitate a human mouth, but I will say that this might not be the best video to learn from when it comes to learning the shape of how the mouth moves. I'll still do my best, and if you're just watching this among many other videos, and if you're okay with that, let's begin. The first 5 letters are the easiest of all. A, I, U, E, O. They're the 5 vowels, and the rest of the letters, except for one, will be a combination of these 5 vowels and other consonants. A, I, U, E, O. After the first 5, again are the combinations of consonants and the 5 vowel sounds that we have learned through. So the next is ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. This is a combination of a K, K sound and the 5 vowels. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. The next is sashisu, seso. This is a combination of an S sound and the 5 vowels. The only letter that is pronounced a little different is the second one, shi. It is like the word she, but you cut it off halfway, like shi. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to is the next line. This is a combination of the T, T sound and the 5 vowels. The only letter, I meant 2 letters that you have to be careful is chi and tsu. Chi is similar to when you click your tongue, maybe when you're mad or irritated, like t. But right after you make that clicking sound, try to add the vowel I. If you practice shortening the 2 sounds set together, you'll get the chi sound. Chi, 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 chi. Kind of like that. 2. Although it's considered one of the hardest for English speakers to pronounce, this will be easy if you have mastered the pronunciation of chi. Try to make the pronunciation of chi by changing the shape of your mouth to when you say u, the small rounded shape. Tsu, tsu, tsu. Combining it all, ta, chi, tsu, te, to. The next line is fairly simple. Nani nu ne no starts with the n sound, and you combine it with the 5 other vowels. Nani nu ne no. Ha hi hu he ho is the next line, and it is just as simple. Start with the h sound or by exhaling a lot of air before pronouncing the vowels. The only one that is a little different here is fu. Oftentimes in Romaji, this one is written fu and not hu. But don't use the English fu sound for this, the f sound. This English f sound is pronounced by starting with your upper teeth lightly pressing your lower lips. This doesn't happen in the Japanese fu sound. Just like the other letters, only use the air coming out in order to create this sound. The shape of your mouth should be the same with the u sound. Ha, hi, fu, he, ho. The next is mami, mu, me, mo. This line is a combination of the m sound and the 5 vowels. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. The next is ya, yu, yo. These 3 letters are a combination of the y, ya sound. Ya, yu, yo. The next is la, ri, ru, le, ro. Don't get misled by the r used in the Romaji for this line. This line, la, ri, ru, le, lo, starts with the sound that feels like a combination of the English L and the R sound. I want you to put your tongue on the top palate of your mouth, to the place where you put your tongue when you say ta. Instead of making a ta or the T sound, try to say la with the placement of your tongue over there. This is the Japanese la sound. Just like that, when you pronounce these 5 letters, start by putting your tongue on the same place of your mouth. La, li, lu, le, lo. Next, last but not least is wa, o, m. The last 3 are a little different from others. Wa is simple. You make the W with sound before the A sound, which makes wa. O has the very same pronunciation as o, one of the first 5 letters and the vowel that we have been using. The reason why in Romaji, in this case is written WO, is to indicate the difference when typing on your keyboard. So the pronunciation is the same, but the way of typing is different. This letter is not used for any nouns, verbs, adjectives, nor adverbs in the modern Japanese language. When you see this letter, it is being used as a particle or a glue word. Is the end sound made by fully closing your mouth. There is no word in the Japanese language that starts with this word or starts with this sound. This letter will only appear in the middle or at the end of the word. So, there you have it. All 46 pronunciations of the most basic Japanese alphabet. I know this was a longer video, but good job on sticking to the end. よく頑張りましたね。お疲れ様です。I will see you in my other videos. For now, ladies and gentlemen, ごきげんよう。